Hello, everyone. What's up? What's going on? How we doing? Happy day is today. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This is a special little strom, of course, we got going on here. I can't promise a lot of success, as you can imagine. But we're gonna do our best, and this is more of just like have fun and celebrate the 100K subscribers on the tubes, basically. You know what I mean? I gotta put Nightbot as a moderator. Andy's telling me there might be some technical difficulties. Hopefully not too many. Let me see. How do I do that, Andy? This is my first YouTube stream ever. I've never even attempted it before. Okay. Let's take a minute. Love these tunes, by the way. If you haven't checked them out, here, I'll link it in the chat. This is a small YouTube channel that deserves way more attention. They make a lot of 8-bit compositions of like classic songs and everything. Huh. No tagging YouTube chat? All right, let me say. Hold on, let me try this. I mean, it's not a big deal if we don't got Nightbot, but I'll try. Oh, I have to like subscribe to Nightbot app on YouTube? That's interesting. Let me see what I can do. I'm not gonna try too hard at it. Settings. It's not a typical Haelian stream if we don't have some amount of technical difficulties. As we know. This is one of those things that's kind of scary because you don't know it's working until like you're in it, you know what I mean? All right, did I do it? Nightbot. I hope I did it, Andy. Let's make them a standard moderator instead of a managing moderator, whatever that means. Just in case that's fake Nightbot. Okay. I don't know, we tried though. We tried. If it doesn't work, it don't work. What's up, everyone? Hey, Bally. Hey, Tarante. Hey, Dupe. Recognize a lot of people here from Twitch, of course. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I like I was saying earlier, I guarantee no success, but maybe we can just have some fun. I'm here to like try to answer questions if y'all got them, because I know that that 64 heat video got a lot of attention. So I'm sure a lot of people got some questions about it and everything. They're curious about different aspects, I think. Okay. Try that. How's that? Is that good? I think it's good. Okay. Hades. Well, welcome to hell. That is 64 heat. I will spend a second trying to explain it, whatever there is to say about it. Why am I gonna do this to myself? Well, there's a nice comforting thought that at the end of the day I can just stop and it's no big deal. You know what I mean? I know that statistically we're not gonna get it today. That's just how it does. Not to mention I'm really not the best person for this, honestly. I'm not the best player for something like this. Both this aspect and this heat, I have no practice at it. The people that have beaten 64 heat using mods that reduce RNG, they had to practice for hundreds of hours, thousands of attempts to get good enough to beat the modded run. Now, imagine if you have to spend that amount of time to practice your skill level just to then grind out the RNG to get one possible chance every who knows how many hours we get, you know what I mean? This can only end well. Yeah, I agree. What's up, Retrash? Have I heard of Moist Critical? Of course I have. If he wants to attach a bounty to something like this, hey, I mean, all the more support to them. I think there's always going to be a slight concern when it comes to these things. Once you put money on something like this, that it's kind of scary because cheating is a real thing in games like this. And when there's money to be had from it, then the possibility obviously skyrockets. It's already bad enough when it's just for clout, essentially, right? But it's a bit scary, I gotta say. It's a bit scary. And so I would hate to see someone waste their money, if you know what I mean, on something like that. Hey, what's going on, Gurneel? How are you?
It's as bad as this gets.
Hey, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. You didn't have to do that. We don't have any alerts or anything. Hope you've been good. So we are going to do the standardized. I'll talk about the setup, I guess, here. But yeah, if they put a bounty on it, I'd definitely be down for it. I'd be interested to see what happens and everything. There's also the aspect that I hate the idea that someone would put themselves through it to some degree. You know what I mean? A little bit. But again, I guess if there's a monetary incentive, interesting, I guess, you know, maybe. He'll have them submit it and analyzed by a team. So, I mean, without getting too far into it, it's very, people have been caught cheating in Hades, but it's not easy. Someone got caught because they raised their crit chance when using like an armor spoon from 15% to like 50%, which is a big difference, right? That is a very, very large difference. But if they had only done like 25% or something like that, would we have ever caught them? The truth is that modding Hades in a way that other people can't tell that you've modded it is kind of easy once you have a little bit of knowledge, you know what I mean? It's too bad, but these people exist. And again, it just comes down to, it's not a big deal if it happens, you know? People waste their time doing those kinds of things. But I would be weary to throw money at it, you know? I just hate to see someone's money get wasted, you know what I mean? I got this first try. Yeah, we'll see, Gurneel. All right, so let's talk about a little bit about it. So in case you somehow missed the 64 heat video, 64 heat is, in a sense, probably never going to be beaten in my eyes. A lot of people have different views on it, and we can talk about it as we go. But I feel like 64 heat will never be beaten, most likely. We don't have enough skilled players that are willing to put in the hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours of time into it in order to complete it. Not to mention the interest in something like this has only waned since Hades came out. It's been almost 3 years. And then we have the sequel on the horizon as well. There's just so many factors here. You know what I mean? So 64 heat, it's not looking good for anyone to ever complete it. And that's okay. I also want to mention that it's okay that 64 heat isn't beatable. I think I would rather have additional packs of punishment options for people simply trying to beat 16 or 32 heat. You know what I mean? I would rather have these packs here just to give us more options to mess around with stuff and try different things to beat the challenges that are built into the game. Instead of, you know, what if 32 heat was the max that you could do, right, in the pack, and therefore there's no actual options for how you load out 32 heat. You just max out the whole thing, and everyone's at the same thing. I don't know. I think it makes Hades interesting. It makes it unique by giving us so many options here. You know what I mean? Okay. Didn't know Hades has a history of cheating. Well, I mean, any popular game is going to have it, I think, to some degree or another. I wouldn't say Hades is, like, rampant with it or anything, but, yeah, I mean, it exists. It existed even before the game came out in 1.0. Okay, so let's go over what we need to have happen here in order to potentially beat 64 heat. I am rusty. I am not great at this aspect, I feel. This is always an aspect that I knew the power level is quite good, but I could never, it never like fully clicked with me, I think. So I kind of just suck at it. But we're using the aspect of Zeus with the shield, and I think I could explain better why this one is so important here and why it's kind of the only reasonable one. And the big reason is that, the two big reasons are that we only have one dash. So you kind of have to have the bull rush charge from the shield in order not just to block, but to give you some kind of extra movement on top of the one dash. You can't just one dash your way out of everything. You just can't. Without that second dash, it's just going to be crazy to avoid certain things from, you know, like certain bosses like Hades, namely, you know what I mean? You're just gonna get bonked all the time. And the second reason is that Zeus aspect, probably surprisingly, if you watch the video, requires the least setup compared to some other things. So, you know, like something like Rama kind of has the possibility to do it, but it just requires a lot more things in order to have it happen. Beowulf, same thing. Like if you don't get Mirage Shot with Beowulf, you're just not going to have enough damage. You got Aspect of Eris, and that one's pretty good. But again, with one dash, I think you're kind of just at a detriment, basically. So we're looking for Zeus's special. We are going to have to reset every single run until we get Zeus's special. However, I'm not going to do what I said in the video, which is wait for an epic special. We'll take common or rare and do our best when they do appear. But if we don't get the epic special, if we don't get any kind of Zeus special in the first run or explosive return, then we're just going to have to reset, which means taking a death. Okay, shall we begin? We can talk as we go after this, you know what I mean? What's up, Merrick? Highest heat someone has beaten in the game. Without mods or seeds, I believe it is 62. There was a video of someone doing it on Billy. Okay. Let's see, I'm trying to get the auto splitter running, not because I want to time it so much, but more so because I want to count the attempts. We got the cast, so send us back. That's one. And that's one, baby. Not quite first try. One dash, no defiance, no recovery, have to take shield. I mean, it's definitely true that the block helps. For sure, you know what I mean?
Hey, Skelly.
Let's see, is my auto starter even running here? Yeah, you can't really do Beowulf. Yeah, another reason Beowulf doesn't really work is because you don't have the... Dang, got the attack. What can you do? You only have one cast, and it's not even Stygian Soul, you know what I mean?
I can't.
We're doing unmodded? This, because the purpose of this is, A, mostly to celebrate 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you all so much, by the way, for your love and support. I really appreciate it. But also partially to kind of get a closer glimpse at it. I gotta count another attempt. Oh, live split doesn't want to work for us, chatties. All right, give me. What? Okay, let us try like this, maybe. Okay, temps are now at 2. Oh no, I think I broke the program. Save it. Okay. Let's see if that works now. I don't know. We'll see. Zeus is the only option. Zeus is the only option, I'm afraid. Zeus is the only option. Do you want Maxi to actually be beatable in Hades 2? Are you okay with it being impossible? 100% okay with it being impossible. I think there are some things I'd like to see differently. I have a video on the tubes from only like a couple weeks ago that kind of go over what I'd like to see differently. And there's definitely some changes I'd like to see in the packs. You know, I wouldn't want to see just like a carbon copy of what we have in Hades 1, mostly just because I'd like to see something different. Okay, good. The auto splitter did go, at least. Hey, we got our first special in the 3rd try. But I'm 100% okay with there being a difficulty that is not essentially reasonable to beat. But I would like to see... I don't know, there's a lot of things that I would like to be at least a little bit different. Mostly just a little bit different. I think they mostly just had up to about 32-ish heat in mind. When they made Hades 1. I think going a little bit further in terms of the thought and the balance would be nice for Hades 2. A little bit beyond it. In some way. We had discussions during early access with the devs, the speedrun community, the high heat community. We did talk to them and they heard our cases. We complained about things like approval process. I think that ultimately they felt that it is something like that, is a fun pact of punishment, so to speak. So that's why we got it. Okay, let's go. Purple special is required. I did, but we're we just want to get a feel, like, and kind of partially at least explain why. Forgive the coffee sip. So we want to kind of show, I don't think I can really fully do it justice, why you need the special. So we will be doing attempts, because otherwise, if we just wait for the special to show up, then this whole stream would just be me resetting in Chamber 1 extremely often. So I think getting a glimpse at the start of Tartarus, and maybe if we're lucky into Asphodel, is kind of important here to get a feel for what it's going to look like. Okay, we got to palm it. You do need, this is something that didn't really get talked about in the video, but you do need probably 2, 3, 4 palms in on the special here, even if it is, and that's with it being epic too, by the way, in order to have the D for it. You can always crop it. There we go. Supergiant really only expected players to beat up to 40 heat, if I remember right. That's why they added extra dialogue for the Hades fight. Did they? Oh, I actually didn't even know that, Retrash. Getting a 5 sack at the end of a 64 heat run, that's the thing. It would just be so devastating. It would be so devastating, wouldn't it? So even if you grind out all the things you need to do, you had the skill for it, and then that just happens at the very end. Oh my god. We're not really dealing a lot of damage, as we can see here. I mean, we kind of got the chunkiest enemies in the world. It's kind of hard because me at just using the regular attack on an enemy here while hoping that the special actually hits it. It's like they don't really coincide very well, essentially. Because the attack knocks them back.
That's one more.
Demeter. Is at any point worth it to take the rarity boost from Eurydice for this? Yes, actually, that is the preferred take. Because I think another thing people underestimate is just how few boons you're going to have at the end of a run like this. You're probably going to have 4 or 5 boons at the end of a 64 heat run after you beat Hades a lot of times. And so the hope that you're going to have is that by the end of Tartarus, you wind up with something like Epic Special, a few palms on it, maybe Jolted after that. And of course, something to sell, and then you get a rarity boost from Eurydice after that time. Took a big hit there. You definitely don't throw your rollout here. This could be our boon to sell, basically, at the end of Tartarus. All right, here's our hammer. What do you think? You think we're going to get explosive return first try? Oh, we got a fountain. We did not get explosive return, I'm afraid. This one's pretty bad, too, in general. This one sounds good for Zeus aspect, but in fact, it's pretty terrible. So it says, after your special hits, your next 2 attacks deal plus 80% damage. What actually needs to happen that is not explained here is the special needs to hit an enemy, then Zag needs to catch it, catch the special back, the special shield back, and then you'll get the bonus, unfortunately. Otherwise, it'd be great. Otherwise, it'd be probably great. So you have to take the shop here. You cannot skip a room like that because you need as much time as possible. Run. You don't have enough money for anything. Is the setup in the context of a regular player or a very skilled player? It is actually still rip our first run. Oh, and then live split doesn't want to work again. Too bad. The theory crafting, it's not really theory crafting. It's been proven by a couple players using mods that it's doable, but they are extremely high skilled. An average player who has not practiced 64 heat with this build in particular will not be able to just do it if they get, even if they get all the right stuff. It's not like that. Okay, live split, calm down. What's going on here? Reset. Oh, nope, it doesn't wanna. Come on. Do you want to save your splits? Okay. Oh no, I got an unhandled exception. Okay, that was it. No, it's still not working. All right, let's try restarting the whole thing. Live split likes to do this to me. Why do you have to sell a boon after each biome? It's a pact of punishment requirement called Underworld Customs. Okay, I'm trying to just add one to the counter here. Okay, there we go. So that was attempt number 4.
Hey, hey!
Should check the garden.
I think that's another misconception when we look at some of the people commenting on the 64 Heat YouTube video, which is that they think that if we just put, you know, like 85 people in a room, then they'll get a viable run every hour. And it's like, I mean, sure, but all those people, all 85 of those people need to be capable of beating the run after that, and that's just not, that's not feasible. There's only 2 people in the world who have done it using mods, and it took thousands of attempts. Thousands of attempts. Every time you take damage, it's 100% permanent. That's definitely how it feels. I mean, you can get max health and get some current health back. The only other, there's like a couple like super tiny things that can heal, but they're usually not worth it. You got things like quick recovery from Hermes. Something like Curse Slash for the sword will heal you despite lasting consequences. And some people brought that up, but like that's not a good it's not a good build for this. Reduces your health by 60%. Sudden rush. So this is a time where we started with a hammer. So you could sit here and consider like, well, let's try it out and see what Zeus offers us. What's the highest solidly achievable heat? It's hard to say. Someone has beaten 62 heat without mods or seeds. But that's only one person ever. It's with this exact setup, basically, but they just don't have routine inspection. Let's just see what Zeus gives us here, even though Sudden Rush is not ideal. Thunder Dash. I don't think so. Yeah, Curse Slash still works, even though, even though you have lasting consequences on. Guan Yu heal still works from the spin, I believe. Again, you get reduced max health, so it's pretty brutal. I think, what's that one for the fist? Draining Cutter, I think technically works. Not very good, though. Okay.
What could go wrong?
It's still very likely a highly skilled player would lose. Oh-ho! Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. 1 out of 9 there. Okay. Don't put Zeus on the thing. Okay. Yeah, so that's true. So even if a player who has proven that they are able to do it using mods, even if they then get the right setup through all this crazy amounts of luck and resets and everything like that, right? It's still, remember, it took them thousands of attempts to beat it like that. Thousands. So it might take them another 1,000 or 2 to beat it even when they do roll the thing. But then we got Thunder Dash. We'll see how long this one goes, but yeah, that's not good. Why don't I play with mods myself? Well, I wanted, this isn't about me trying to beat 64 heat, really. This is about me kind of looking at what it feels like to grind it out. Does that make sense? I have no plan of really beating 64 heat. I have no confidence that we will do anything. I'll be happy if we get to Asphodel today, to be honest. I'll be ecstatic if we get to Asphodel. I will celebrate with, I don't know. What do y'all want? You want, we'll take a shot, but I don't have any liquor. We'll take a shot of prune juice, okay? Okay.
That's good.
Don't worry, we got a level 3 Thunder Dash here. The difference between 62 and 64 is the stubborn defiance. Yeah, and
It's that damn wretched sneak.
come on, come here. Oh, okay, you came too soon. I mean, that affords you some mistakes where you can actually get health back by the Stubborn Defiance, right? So it's interesting, though. The 62 heat win is very interesting because they kind of needed the same luck, in a sense. Sneak got me. I've made it through Elysium, though, haven't I? No.
I hate that.
Welcome.
No. I don't know what the furthest someone has gotten at 64 heat without mods or seeds. I'm not sure. That one's really hard to tell. Furthest Reese Chamber. I guess I'll go by at least if we can ever get through Tartarus, I suppose.
Clear instruction, boy. Not for the embodiment of the standard to which you are held. Set your aim higher than to be like me.
No mag? Yeah, I mean, it's since we know we're probably not going to get far, I should probably be megging the sneak fight just to try to wow. Wow. I should probably be megging the sneak fight just to do the best that we can. Do you not meg? You would normally not meg the sneak, I think, if you plan to get the run all the way to the end. You would not normally do that, I believe. I don't know. Check out a modded run to find out, maybe. I can't remember what they do. Kind of depends on the mini boss there, too. You kind of need the megs for other situations, usually. We didn't have an ideal setup there, so the sneak fight was kind of just tough. 2 in a row, baby. There's something that isn't discussed, that I haven't really discussed at all, and that is that the 64 heat modded winners, they use mouse and keyboard, because aiming the special of Zeus aspect and making sure it goes exactly where you want to, it's actually very difficult with controller. Now, you can play this game whichever way you want. It's not usually a big deal, but I think this is an instance of where mouse and keyboard is gonna be helpful, but it's not gonna be helpful for me because I would just be set back like 3,000 hours worth of playtime and trying to play it for the first time again, practically. Oh, you got me. So, Chaos Gates are kind of interesting here, but I don't think we can do it. That's like essentially permanent health lost in some ways. I was actually fascinated to see that in the recent 64 heat win by Angelic using mods, they actually took a Chaos Gate at the start of Elysium. That's crazy. They got to Elysium and they had to gamble it. They knew that they had to gamble the run on taking a Chaos Gate at the start. Otherwise, they weren't going to have enough time. The Zeus Spoon's right there, too. Bum, 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 bum. Congrats, thank you so much. Ah, stop hitting me, numbskulls. Oh, over 4 years on uploading videos on the YouTubes. Down to 7 health, just like that.
Thank you.
Wow, we got the special with explosive return. It's too bad I'm down to 7 health, though. And it's rare, so that's probably better than average. So this might be one of our best setups we've had. Now, ideally, you'd probably start with Zeus special and then get explosive return.
Give up yet.
Because the time it's I think that's what you'd prefer. Because I think you prefer getting the special boom right away. Wow, these fountain rooms have been pretty decent, actually. We really don't want Afro. I don't know if you'd really want to skip it, though. This is the first mini boss appearing. We can get up to 2 more offered. We pretty much are guaranteed for that. Hey, Seagull, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining the House of Haelian. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Seagull helped a ton in making the 64 heat video, by the way. So if you got questions, Seagull can help too, if I'm failing to answer them. Seagull knows way more than me about it, actually, I would argue. Seagull helped a lot with the math as well. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, you can't do that, I think. What do we got on the door? So you got Poseidon and Aphrodite. Whatever we take from them would most likely be something to sell here, because the only boons we really care about are from Zeus or Dionysus, I think, at this point. I think so the only reason that you'd have here is that, I don't know, Poseidon has like the dash, but I don't know if that's really that helpful. I think you do Afro, because you could get very bad luck, and Poseidon could give you sunken treasure, which is not sellable, and thus you'd be forced to sell something important, you know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. First time here. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Do I think the 62 heat run could have won if it was 64? I haven't seen that. That was actually done quite a while ago. I haven't seen it in quite a while, so my memory's hazy. But that's too hard to say just because the Stubborn Defiance was used so much in the run. You know what I mean? And some of those hits can be intentional at times. Wave of Despair, not very good. What can you do, though? Why Dio again? Dionysus has one of the best damage output calls in the game. And a call boon is important not just for damage, but it can also help you avoid taking damage as well. Any call boon can help you with that, because you get what they call iframes whenever you use a call, which means you're just invincible for a very brief moment, usually just a fraction of a second, but it's kind of important to dodge some attacks nevertheless. So ideally, in other words, we would get a call boon that helps provide iframes and is able to deal a good chunk of damage to the enemy. So Dionysus's call or Zeus's call would be amazing here. Oh, of all things. My bull rush bonked on that little corner there. I think that was like chamber 9 or 10. My bull rush bonked on that corner, and I wound up landing inside of the trap, unfortunately. Back at it again we go.
What's the worst that could happen?
Boo! Getting through this without Divine Dash is insane. Yeah, so, like, the video we talk about the odds of getting the things that you need to have, but we don't even get into nice-to-have boons like Athena's Dash, right? And it's just, wow. Admittedly, Athena's Dash is, a lot less good when you only have one dash anyway, you know what I mean? So now we go back to resetting. We need to start with either Explosive Return or the Zeus special. Any insider info on Hades 2? I'm afraid I got nothing for you. Well, actually, no, I got lots of information that I'm just refusing to tell you. That's the truth. You know what I mean? It's gonna come out on April 20th at 69 o'clock, I think, next year.
What's life without a little pain?
That run had pretty good luck, right? We hit the two big notes, really, right? So feels bad to lose that way, but what can you do? Common special, we'll still try.
No way.
Whoa. Okay. The heat from the trap pact is a trap in itself. Yeah, heightened security. I have one of the best quotes that we have from the studio director of Supergiant Games, Amir. Where I think he was asking for feedback at one point in time, or no, this might have been during an event that we used to do called Hermes Cup, which was Hades Speedrun Racing. You can find the VODs here on YouTube if you search just Hermes Cup. But he came on as a guest, and I'm gonna guess it was during this time. We were talking about the Pact of Punishment, and heightened security got brought up, and you know what his recommendation for heightened security was? Just don't take it if you don't like it. Just don't take it, you know? Okay, let's see if we can get Explosive Return. Ooh. It's hard to avoid all this damage from these things. It's just kind of awkward. Okay. Oh. I'll be honest, I'm shocked that we actually... I would have guessed that we would have had early access of Hades 2 well underway at this point in time in 2023. That didn't happen, though, interestingly. We got Sudden Rush. We'll still try. Maybe we'll go Gamma Brain here and just take a Chaos Gate. Changes I'd like to see between the two games. Yeah, I have a recent video of that. I recommend checking that out if you want more in-depth stuff. But I think for me, my big dream, which is not what most people want, understandably, I think for something like that, is that I would love the kind of replayability that only a couple other roguelikes really have, namely like Slay the Spire, maybe kind of like Binding of Isaac to a sense. I would love for Hades 2 to have something like that, but that's a selfish thing to ask for because most people don't need or want that at the end of the day. You know what? I want it because that way we can keep milking that sweet clickbait. You know what I'm saying? For many, many years to come. Okay, let me out. That hit the special at least. Too bad. You have to turn down that Zeus Spoon. We can't afford to take the time to skip the shop here. It's just not feasible. I wonder if Sudden Rush is just better here for moving. A little bit, I think. Please don't miss. Meg! I should have waited. That's my fault. No God Keepsakes? I mean, so that just gets into a very long discussion where it's not as simple. I think a lot of people, when I say no more God Keepsakes for something like Hades 2, one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of people look at it from the perspective, what if you just remove God Keepsakes in Hades 1? In which case, Hades 1 would be an extremely different game, and I think it would actually be a net negative if God Keepsakes did not exist in Hades 1. For all players involved. They would have to set up Hades 2 in such a way that God Keepsakes don't feel like such an integral part of it. Does that make sense? I hope. Aww. Electric. Could I beat a seeded run of 64 heat? No, not without a lot of practice first. Like, if I just booted up a seeded run right now, all of a sudden, I couldn't even do it in, like, today. Not even close. I doubt we could even reach Elysium. Probably even then. And, now we can kind of talk about how different a seeded run is compared to unseeded. So, the way seeds work in Hades is it's kind of peculiar. You can't necessarily... I think some people are mistaken into thinking that, you know, seeds are kind of like other games that have RNG where you can kind of manipulate things well ahead of time in like the House of Hades. You can't really do that. You can't. There's no like set inputs essentially that you can do, and boom, you can will a special boon into existence in Chamber 1. That's just not how Hades works. Chamber 1 is what it is. And after that, the way a seed works is that you can manipulate RNG, or rather the seed is one way of looking at it, by performing certain actions only after the doors are unlocked. So yes, you can have a task do a seeded run, for instance. So that means that you can actually control literally everything, given enough trial and error, that you can control literally everything that happens in a seeded run. All right, we got a rare special, not bad. I mean everything. Which enemies appear, which boons appear, what appears in the Well of Charon, what appears in the shop, what mini bosses you get. what kind of benefits package enemies you get, what's in the Chaos Gate, if there is a Chaos Gate. Literally everything you can kind of control, but it's not that simple. You can't just like say, I want this to happen. You have to trial and error it and figure out the combination of RNG manipulation in order to see what's in the next chamber. So you'd have to, for instance, if I wanted to manipulate what happens in this next chamber, I would have to A, find out what happens if I don't do anything, B, then find out what happens if I change the seed slightly, and then if I don't like that, I rinse and repeat. And I keep doing that until I get the thing that I want to happen in the next room, essentially. And it's painstaking work. It is painstaking work. There's a video, Seagull actually has it on their YouTube channel. Check it out. Features the high heat runner Baj doing a seeded run of 64 heat. I'm so sorry. Whoop. Nope. Many bonks, many bonks.
I can still fight.
Yeah, so seeded runs, they're very hard to get a... Really? That's just straight up blocking, too. Too bad. You would do that for all floors? So you can just kind of give up on the manipulation at some point and just put the will of the gods at you, you know what I mean? You can just like stop manipulating at any chamber that you want, and then it's just random from then on out, essentially. But you'd want to manipulate it all the way through, because what if you know, you do all the manipulations, right? But then you accidentally get a 5-sack, you know, at the end of the day. It'd stink, right? My YouTube exclusive now? No, we're just celebrating 100k subbies. 100k good eggs here on the tubes, you know what I mean? Just having some fun. YouTube, not YouTube, sorry. Twitch does not require exclusivity anymore, so. Oh, we got the cast. Send me back. The modern runs, they do meg sneak. Okay, gotcha. I don't think you can reasonably meg any of the other... No, you can meg the Doomstone too. But the other one with the 5 bombers, I don't think we could. Favorite song? Oh, man. How can it not be, Oh... That's actually really hard to pick. Well, there's 2 different vibes. I mean, you got, like, In the Blood for your kind of dramatic, emotional song, right? That I love. And then you also got the Unseen Ones, which is the Extreme Measures 4 with crazy guitar solos going on. Just 2, like, very different feelings, you know what I mean? But God, you gotta love them both. All right, come on, send me back. Send me back, buddy. Sometimes it's ever so slightly faster to go to the second chamber than try to get yourself killed in the first chamber. Slightly faster, you know.
Tough break.
Hey, it's you.
What's the difference between routed run and a seeded run, or the same thing? Essentially the same thing. Essentially. Routed means that you did actually plan out the entire run. Seeded essentially just means that you know what's at least going to happen in the first chamber. Does that make sense? What other weapon aspects might be viable at 60 plus? 60 plus? There is a 60 heat Rama win from a couple years ago by Tail-esque. Great run. Highly recommend. And that was unmodded, unseeded. That was the record for a long time, I think. Rama is definitely one of the more capable aspects. But it semi-requires a 2-hammer combo of some kind. But luckily, there's a few hammers that kind of work. You got triple shot, twin shot, perfect shot, point blank shot. All those are very, very good, at least. So now we got a special boon, and now we're at a crossroads. Do we really take a Demeter boon? Yes, we do. So why not Rama at the max heat? So you only have 1 dash at 64 heat, and so the shield bull rush is practically required to dodge some moves. Especially, think about it, Hades is moving 40% faster with the forced overtime, you literally cannot dodge some of those moves with only one dash. It's not possible. You need that bull rush. You need that bull rush. There is some theory crafting around Zag Shield. That's right, Zag Shield of all things being maybe viable at a very high heat like this, and you use like the charge shot hammer and just a high attack damage. I haven't really looked at, I didn't get to look into that much, but someone recently got a pretty high heat clear, or at least almost got a very high heat clear with it, I believe. Someone might have beaten 63 with mods, I believe. I'm not positive though. Cute hat? Well, thank you.
I'll take them.
It says soup on it. Don't you love soup? You would need extra dashes from Hermes, yeah. One of the reasons why Zeus aspect, besides the fact that it's simply a shield, is that we really only need like 3-ish boons to win. Yeah, it might seem like a very specific setup, but almost everything else requires more. 3-ish boons and 1 hammer. The 1 hammer is a big deal too, whereas most other aspects would require a two hammer setup in order to deal enough damage. Is Gilgamesh viable? I don't think Gilgamesh is viable to beat 40 heat. Oh, here we go. All right. Redeems hat change, you wish, Andy. Hey, we got a fountain after that too. I know Gilgamesh gives extra dashes, but Gilgamesh struggles at high heat. Gilgamesh struggles. Poseidon, okay.
You've been waiting for this, haven't you?
I'm panicking. Okay, there we go. Okay, we did it. I kind of forgot at the start. With the damage control on, you got to think pretty hard about this. Hydraulic might, it doesn't really do anything, but yeah, here we go. Loving the content. Thank you so much. It's kind of doomed because of the common special. Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not planning a win. We're just here to kind of see what it feels like, right? If someone were to actually start to grind this out, what would it kind of feel like? You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, y'all are just watching me walk back to Chamber 1 for probably, the next 5 hours or whatever. Retrash has 55 heat clears. Retrash, is that true? How did you do 55 heat with Gilgamesh? I want to know. Oh, I'm gonna guess Merciful End. Hey, we got a second Zeus boon, so we could get really well set up here because Zeus is one of the key factors here. If we can get the call well, not and, I guess, or jolted, that means we are like set up for exactly what we need very early. Just the rarities haven't totally lined up for us, but this could be big. Still, we can get excited for this. Come on, throw it out, throw it out. Oh god, I didn't see all of this. Explosive return is really important, mostly for the AoE burst that we get from it.
In the name of
Come on. Come on. Oh, it's only common. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You still take it. Maybe we can see Asphodel. I'll be happy if we can see Asphodel. Do I want Hades 2 to be this difficult at high heat? At max heat? Whatever their max heat is going to be, assuming that they do have the Pact of Punishment again in some way, I'm okay if it's not possible. Oh. The angle. The angle. The angle got me. What can I say? I'm okay if Hades 2 has an unbeatable difficulty. I'm okay. I think they did a great job with the Pact of Punishment here, and we don't need to be able to beat 64 heat, you know what I mean?
Right, let's get to work.
Don't you dare look at me like that, boy, with your mismatched eyes. You save it for yourself. You have a mirror in your
What do you recommend most for a first-time 32 heat clear? I love Hestia, and I feel like Hestia is really good. Just don't take any damage control. You gotta...
My parents. eyes.
You got to get used to just reloading between every single shot, though. Well, at least we got a special boon again right away, huh? I think this is a testament just like how much practice this takes, because I am not well practiced at this, right? So jumping into this and expecting, even if you had the ideal setup, to get very far, it's like it's a fool's errand. And we can't even like play it safe and try to turtle things out because the deadline, right? Like just seeing that witch get stuck over there and cause a problem for me, ugh, and just waste a few more seconds, it's painful. It's gonna be painful when we reach Meg for the first time today and we can't beat her because of the deadline. You know what I mean? Which is probably gonna happen. Congrats, thank you so much. Yeah. Dio could have been good here if we got the call, but that's literally the only boon that's helpful, unfortunately. I guess the dash kind of does a tiny bit of something, but after party, heal for 0%. Yay.
Liven things up.
If you play it perfectly and all the luck aligns, it's beatable, right? Well, yeah. It is technically, the modded runners have proven that it is beatable. Yes, they have proven that. That's how it's been proven. What are you doing special?
Right on cue.
I think that is part of the reason why they wanted to do it, just to prove that it is technically doable if the stars align. How do you redeem a hat change? Nice try. Ah. Come here. Come on, baby. Really just tough room here. Another thing we really didn't get to talk about in the video is just enemy patterns. And getting high health enemies like this is just, it's tough. It's gonna eat away at the deadline so fast. But it's that one's really hard to calculate, like what patterns are... That one's like pretty much impossible to really calculate how much that is going to affect a run. You know what I mean? Okay. Imagine this. I'm picturing, right? Imagine this, okay? You go out and you buy a lottery ticket every day. And then one day you finally win after years and years of buying lottery tickets. But in order to redeem the ticket, you had to go through Ninja Warrior contest. And you had to beat it within 20 minutes or else you don't get the money. That is what 64 Heat is like. Okay, what do you got for me, Dem? Wow. Literally the worst possible boon. Literally the worst possible boon. It does nothing, and we cannot sell it. It does literally nothing. Also, there's no actual money. Yes, also there's no actual money. That's true, too. And there's no money. You just get to say that you did it. Would it be easy to beat without the deadline? It's still not easy. Definitely not. Definitely not. That's 58 heat, and it's easier to do 58 heat with the deadline on, but you turn off some other things instead, basically. That's what I've been doing on the Twitch stream lately. We've been trying to do 58 heat, mostly with Aspect of Hestia, and we've gotten pretty close. We've seen Phase 3 Hades once or twice. We're getting there, slowly but surely. No money. Another key. 1000% easier. It's not. I wouldn't describe it as 1000% easier. Because even if, say, you take your time with a mediocre build, the longer you take to beat any chamber or any boss, the more likely you are to get hit a little bit more, right? The more time you spend doing any kind of battling is more time you could be getting hit. So let's say it ends up taking you like 30 or 40 minutes versus the needed 20 minute with a max out deadline. Then I don't know why I looked at that. We shouldn't have bothered. Ooh. Then it's just that's just more time that you could have spent getting hit, you know what I mean? I don't think anyone's done it. I don't think anyone's beaten Hades, 58 heat. Everything's maxed out by tight deadline. I don't know if many people have tried either, because it's unfortunately it's just really not a fun way. I mean, this isn't a fun way to play the game either, to be clear. But that's also not a fun way to play. We have 51 seconds. We got the chamber 10. We can't really do a trial here because trials take a lot longer, like a lot longer. And of course, they're more dangerous too while we're at it. I already forget if we got a fountain room this run, but the hope is that you go right for the palm and you pray you get a fountain. Is every enemy attack dodgeable in Hades theoretically? Yes, there are no mandatory hits in Hades. In theory, everything is avoidable. However, there are certain patterns, especially in the Extreme Measures 4 Hades fight, where if you only have one dash, imagine you got, you know, just a certain set of ads, like a bunch of butterfly balls in the first phase of the Hades fight. And then Hades is doing his spin move, you know what I mean? And then throwing this or that at you. It's kind of hard to explain, but being able to outmaneuver those things comes to a near impossibility, especially if you don't have the shield's bull rush. The ads in the Hades fight are often what I think that's what's usually killer a lot of times. We hit tight deadline and we didn't even get anywhere near Meg, unfortunately. Routine inspection is the most brutal part. They're all terrible. I mean, if you want to look at it another way, what's the worst, lowest heat combination you can do? And I think the answer to that is it only takes 8 heat to max out routine inspection. You have no death defiances. You have 1 dash. You don't get as many boons. You don't get as good a rarity on the boons. You don't get any rerolls. That's only 8 heat. That's only 8 heat. I think routine inspection they probably should have thrown some more heat values at it. They probably could have done 3 heat for each. That would have raised the max possible heat done in Hades, but that's kind of arbitrary in some ways, right? I think they maybe should have done that just because most people, I really would not recommend putting any points into routine inspection on the Pact until you're in like the 50s. How much is max approval? It's 3 for each, right? So it's 6 heat for that. Lately on Twitch, we tried some runs where we just turned off the things that make the game less fun. So we did essentially the most heat we could, but we got rid of the things that kind of just make the game a lot less fun. And you might not guess it. So approval process, routine inspection, we got rid of. We did some runs like this, and I actually had quite a bit of fun trying to do it. But I also got rid of convenience fee. And so the reasoning behind it, and you only wind up at 49 heat once you get rid of all those things. The reasoning behind it is part of the fun of Hades, right? Is being able to make decisions. I want to buy this thing, and I want to be able to choose one of 3 boons instead of being forced one, and I want to have some rerolls, and I want to have the chance to get to do a boon, and things like that. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of made a quote-unquote high heat run actually quite interesting. You know, because the challenge is still there. because the enemies are still super buffed and things like that. The challenge is still there for that. But we got a rare special. We have not seen an epic special yet today, by the way. Because it's only a 3.75% chance. We don't do chaos here.
It's no use.
And that way your decision making actually matters a lot more. I think at 64 heat here, you don't really get to make a lot of decisions, or you make far, far fewer decisions because you're not picking boons and you're not picking doors as much. You know, it removes a lot of the thought process behind it. And it's mostly based just on pure execution, per room. All right, we got a hammer. Give me explosive return. Congrats. Thank you so much. Come on. Will it into existence, everybody. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Hello? Oh, that stupid trap got me. Okay. One of the worst. One of the worst. This is one of the worst hammers on the shield in general. That one's really bad. I may have tried to do, I think I have at least one YouTube video of trying to make it feel good, and I don't know if we really ever got there. It's hard to make the bull rush deal a lot of damage, kinda, I think. I mean, if you combine that with charge shot, can you get that with charge shot? I don't remember. That was a nice room. That room was nice. It was very quick. That's what we like to see. 3.75%. Not that bad of odds. I mean, we see a lot of comparisons to like other games and stuff about the odds, right? A lot of people brought up shiny Pokemon. For instance, and shiny Pokemon are just ridiculous. Come on, are they not? Shiny Pokemon, oh my god. They are absolutely ridiculous. The odds are just disgustingly small and everything. I think there is I think there's kind of a difference here though, which is that catching shiny Pokemon is a bit more what's the term? Laid back, I guess, in a sense. I guess just resetting Chamber 1 over and over in Hades is quite laid back on its own. But as soon as you see a shiny Pokemon, yeah, sure, you get excited and you want to make sure you do it right and you don't mess it up. But there's not as much at stake, I feel, at least there. Know what I'm saying? What's up, Webs? Thank you. Whoa. Doesn't necessitate a need for skill. Right. Imagine if you had to get the luck of running into the shiny Pokemon, and then in order to actually catch the shiny Pokemon after you run into it, you have to complete an Ironmon run, basically. Right? That sounds about right to me. What's up, Braven? Hydraulic might, yeah, whatever. Something to sell, I guess. Shatter Shackle would solve the RNG problem. It's interesting. It's interesting. And I think there was a runner that recently had a run where they beat an extraordinary amount of heat with Zeus aspect, but it wasn't with Zeus's special boon. I don't know that much about it. That's sort of the power of explosive return potentially there. I think there's like some things about it, but if you're gonna do a Shatter Shackle run, it does mean that you're not gonna have a defensive keepsake ever, right? You could hope to get, you could delay getting a special boon until later this way, but you also can never palm it, you know, and things like that. Come here. That trial. We only have 1:48. We're only at chamber 9. Oh, that's painful. Ooh, that's painful. Gotta go this way. Shackle gives less damage to Zeus special. I think, yeah, I mean, if you have an epic Zeus special and a few palms in it, yeah, the Zeus special is definitely going to be a little bit better. But I guess if you're wondering, like, is the shackle viable enough? I think it's maybe. You're kind of trading the RNG for one place for another. Everything's gonna be a little bit slower, but you don't need all that special boon stuff potentially, right? So the run's gonna be a little slower overall, but if you get lucky enough rooms, maybe it's still doable, if that makes sense. So you could get like really lucky, like fountain rooms, event rooms, chaos gates, and things like that using the Shattered Shackle. But the boss fights are also going to take quite a bit longer. We got Boldy. Yeah, the Shackle adds the consistency, but I think what you would find, and this is what I find when I do high heat Shackle runs, especially with Aspect of Hestia, is that they start off a lot better. They start off super consistent and very strong. But then by the time you get to Elysium, you've really fallen off a bit of a cliff. Like, I think that because the damage, you can't really scale it up reliably at all with the Shackle, no palms, and other things. Beating, like, the heroes and the dad fight in the time limit is very, very difficult, I think. Congrats on 100K. Thank you so much.
Cheers, mate.
What did Boldy give us? 4% damage reduction. Blessed. That was chamber 11. This is the final chamber of Tartarus. Can we see the Furies, at least for one run? Can we see Asphodel today? I don't know if we got the deadline under control this run to really see Asphodel here, unfortunately. I only got the Asphodel once in my offline attempts. And then I was like, you know what? That's enough. Once was enough. Couldn't even see Lerny, though. It just died to the deadline.
I'm running out of time.
30 seconds. Oh, the witches got me. I tried to play quickly and it didn't work out. What can you do? We tried, though. Having to take Chaos Gates with 100% lasting consequences. Yeah, this is actually one that I would love to get more feedback from the community over in terms of what's necessary, you know what I mean? God, it's hard to say. I guess it really depends on where you get the boons, when you get the boons, how much time you got on the deadline, etc. We got a hammer, we got a bad hammer. We didn't make it, I'm afraid. That's the thing, you gotta play a bit more loose in order to beat the deadline, but then what happens? Daddy takes damage, you know what I mean? Daddy takes that damage. You gotta what they call greed out the damage. Like, we can't rest on my what? My lorries? Do I have any mods on? No mods whatsoever.
Back again.
Welcome to the House of Hades.
It is you.
Do.
Hey, mate.
What if they took the Risk of Rain route with tight deadline and made enemies stronger after the timer finished?
That ought to
It's interesting.
Sulk in your chambers all you like.
That's kind of-
I care not.
That's kind of
I have
interesting.
eternity to finish with this work, so your assistance is entirely unneeded.
Huh. I don't know. I guess we'd have to think pretty hard about it, how exactly it would work in different factors. Rip. Really bad.
crushed.
I think that could work. That could work, right? I don't know. I don't necessarily think Hades 1, at least, should be changed the way it is. I think this is fine. Oh, as I take my 20th death. This is fine. You know what I mean? Okay, well, the truth is, I think Tight Deadline was kind of genius in a lot of ways. It introduced people to this time limit factor in Hades that pushed them into essentially trying to speed up their gameplay. A lot of people hate Tight Deadline for the way it makes them play, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of people also got kind of pushed into the speedrun aspect of the game, and it helped with the community and everything. I think it's a great pact of punishment in general, and you don't have to take it. Damn. And you don't have to take it at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I think it's really hard to improve this game, I think is the bottom line. How do you improve a game, everyone, that has a 97% positive rating on Steam? You know what I mean? How do you make this better? How do you make the more people happier with this game? We could appease certain players, right? With some changes. We could appease certain types of players, certain people that do certain things in the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good change for all players at the end of the day, right? Come on. How long was Hades in beta? It was in early access from December of 2018 until September of 2020. Boom, boom. Add kitty cats. Ooh, yeah, meow, 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 meow. DLC with new gods and weapons. How is it only 97%? 90? It's one of the highest rated games on Steam of all time. Half of the negative reviews are just jokes and memes. It's the truth. Even if they made DLC for the game and stuff, right? Oh my god. You know what? We're gonna try this one just because Charge Shot is considered a good hammer here. Even if they made DLC for the game or free updates, I don't think that necessarily means that the base game would be better or anything like that. I don't think more people would have enjoyed the base game for that matter. Come on. Come on, Charge Shot. God, that enemy was just very difficult.
Heads up.
Oh, I don't think Charge Shot is gonna cut it. I don't know about this Charge Shot right now. Ho ho ho. Ugh. I mean, I don't want to put someone through the challenge that is 64 heat, and I don't necessarily hope that someone like puts in all that exhausting work for something like this. But at the same time, it would be great to be proven wrong, you know? I think that would actually be, it would be very interesting. Whoa. Any way to get more time? Nope. The time carries over between the zones. Yeah, we don't bother continuing this one. We got dashed. We've talked about things like I've pitched the idea, at least out loud. Not really like not that I'm going to the studio with the idea or anything like that. But we've discussed the idea behind, in order to resolve tight deadline a little bit, maybe you could buy more time from shops and stuff. But that kind of goes against the premise of tight deadline. They want you to play the game faster and practice doing things faster, you know, clearing the enemies and the bosses faster. So if you're able to circumvent that pact of punishment by simply spending obols in the run, then it kind of goes against the initial principle, I think.
Time to go to work.
Down, down.
Chamber walls than with the boatman Charon, boy. Not all those of the underworld are prone to ceaseless chatter.
It's not obvious that you can get really incredible playstyles going, and until you realize that, I'd argue the game is less fun. I think there are some improvements there where I do think the grind is a bit long in Hades for the average beginning, the person just starting out the game. Yeah, send me back. I think they probably could introduce the weapon aspects a little bit sooner in Hades 2, if not right away, right? Because it's a sequel, so how are they gonna work that out, right?
Back for something right quick.
So I think that's one thing, like letting beginning players get into the weapon aspects and the other side of the mirror and some other things a little bit quicker, I think would be I think that would be a good idea. Because I think a lot of people, they'd see the credits before they can really even get more than a few aspects unlocked, really, you know what I mean?
All right, one more time.
Is there a bounty on 64 heat? Not that I'm aware of. No special. Hey, Doxy. Chaos gives more time. Yeah, I mean, these are things that could be done. I guess it depends on how pure you want to be about it, I suppose, in a sense, right?
Forgot something again.
House of Hades?
Buying Chaos Gates is kind of like that to some extent. Oh, you know what? You're not wrong. It's interesting, actually.
Won't get bounties any faster with this extra heat. Lord Zeus.
Nope. We've hit a string of bad starts here, unfortunately, for ourselves. Have we seen the Furies yet? Not yet. What's up, Cal? Not yet. We came very close, though. We got to the last chamber of Tartarus. Chaos is a bad strat. At 64 heat, Chaos is very unreliable. In normal speed running, where you're not doing a very high heat, Chaos is great for saving time.
What's going on, Skelly? Wretches of the underworld, take heed.
You think there should be a bounty available? Like an achievement? I don't think so. Yeah, a completionist would be upset. Yeah, I don't think so. Putting an achievement behind it wouldn't really help anything, I feel, really. I don't think that would encourage people to do it, and I wouldn't even really want to encourage people to do this, you know what I mean? How many enemies have I killed total? You mean by looking at the, what do they call it? The scrying pool? This save file is a hell mode save file, so it's not my original. That's been that got thrown out a long time ago. But here's what it is on this hell mode file.
Do your worst, Father.
Poseidon's an incomparable fool, I'm ashamed to call my brother.
Rama's special might not be terrible for punching through shields. The only downside is that you have one dash. Rama is a great aspect for very high heat, but once you go down to one dash, trying to do anything without a shield is very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Damn. Come on, baby. Send us back. Isn't the bow better? No. No. Definitely not. I promise.
No.
Yeah, I had to, since I played throughout early access since around December of 2018, my save file had thousands and thousands of attempts on it. And what happens in Hades, the more attempts you have on your save file, the more attempts the administrative record department has. So it has to keep overwriting the save file in between every single room, and it really bogs down the run. Actually, it makes the every run go a lot longer. Damn, breaching rush, yeah. That's not the worst one, at least, but it's not very good. We're trying to get the Zeus special. We'll see if we get it here. This many restarts just for Thunder Flourish. Yeah, we had kind of a lucky streak in a sense. But this is what it feels like, right? This is what it feels like. Didn't get the special. So,
Electric.
I mean, that was with a lousy hammer, too. What can we do? Boop. Send us back, baby. An achievement for dying at 64 heat. Yeah, a goofy little achievement that just requires you to start a run at 64 heat might have been goofy fun, right?
Check the garden.
That I'd be okay with. I'd be 100% okay with that one. How far in do you start to notice the added time for a dense save file? It's hard to say. It's a very slow accumulation. You probably... It wouldn't matter... It wouldn't really matter unless you're doing real-time speed runs. Hey, we got explosive return at least.
Done and done. Can't do that.
It doesn't really matter unless you just don't like the annoyance of the fact that the load times go way up, really. You think the railgun's better at 64 heat? Hey, man, I'm all about you being the first to do it. And I'll be there cheering you on.
And don't come back.
Give me that Zeus. Come on. Come on.
More loud.
Show me that Thunder Fleur. Oh, big wallop. Don't get hit by that trap. Okay, yeah, we actually get 2 chances since we have a roll. So the first boon you pick up in a Hades run, it's always going to be one of 4 boons with approval process on. Attack, special, cast, dash. But if you roll it, then it adds other boons into the pool, like Heaven's Vengeance could appear, Lightning Reflexes could appear, the Call could appear. If we have to roll. We don't have to roll. Unfortunately, I did take some big hits there, but we have Explosive Return and a rare special, so that's kind of something, at least.
Not finished yet.
Got your first one. Congrats. Thank you. Ah. Whoops. Whoops. You can still get keys with routine inspection on. Yes, so you can actually gain a reroll if you go to a key room and get a key. Yikes.
The house is in order.
Yikes. That was rough. I thought it was okay. The speedy hands are really challenging in general here, I think.
Darkness give me strength.
That's too bad. You hate it. You hate to see it, right?
Lord Uncle Zeus.
Nope. These enemies are gonna take me a bit. Come on. You have to show a death every run. Like, if you have a death in the video, but like this, see, can you give up and start over? You cannot give up and start over. No, you can't do that. Because the people watching your recording wouldn't know how much you've practiced the seed.
Had to come back for something right quick.
Oh, hello.
How long did the community practice to determine this is the best build for it? I mean, since before the game even came out in 1.0. They've been practicing since early access, a lot of them. I know Angelic's been at it for almost over 3 years now, just kind of pushing those heat limits.
Never lay hands upon Gygaros, boy.
Never lay hands upon
The
Gygaros.
power in that spear could tear you to pieces finer than the ones to which some of your ancestors were once reduced.
Yeah, it's just a combination of low setup. This is a low setup. The damage output and the safety from being able to use that bull rush.
Again.
Bum, bum. Up to 32 attempts. Can we even see what's the number of attempts I said? We still haven't seen an epic special in our hands. Of course, we could be resetting even harder because I'm accepting these common and rare. Zoo specials just kind of for fun. But yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
Ba-ba-bum. Come on. Hey, there we go. There we go. Okay, I'm focused and ready this time. No mistakes. I got like the worst enemy in the world for Chamber 1, by the way. Holy God. Like literally the chunkiest enemy possible. Hammerlock's been pretty good. Yeah, it hasn't been bad so far, right? How much better is Epic compared to Common? Common is 30 damage from the lightning damage. Epic is 45. If you get the Heroic, it's 60. If you get Heroic from like Eurydice or something. Gilgamesh? No, definitely not. Oh, come on. I don't know how they did that. They just got me at the right angle, I guess. Yeah, wow, it's tough. Welcome, Arctic. Thank you. Do armored enemies take less damage? No, they don't take less, but you can't stagger them. So I can't like stun lock them until you knock their armor off.
Wretches of the underworld, take heed.
Do-do-do-ba-do. Ah! Terrible. Other than it takes time to restart these runs, what is the thing that gets under your skin that drives you crazy doing this? To me, it's hearing the same intro and death music over and over. Well, if I didn't have people to interact with here, and I'm wasting time doing it too, as you can see, many points, then I would be absolutely bored out of my skull probably. But maybe if I had like some old school TV shows on my other screen and I'm just recording it, right? I could, you know, I could be watching some old Simpsons or Futurama or something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe that could pass the time a little bit better, but then that shows up in your recording maybe or something. Ah, epic. I saw the purple for a second. I almost got excited. Not quite.
Brimstones.
Nice quick reset at least. Down, down.
Ouch. All right. Again? Should check the guard.
I'm sure that's probably actually how a lot of people would do anything like this for the most part. They would be mostly preoccupied by something else, and then as soon as they land on a good seed, right? They kick it into high gear and pay attention a lot more, you know what I'm saying?
Someday you shall visit Elysium and meet some of these
Background noise is the Simpson episode, right? Okay, so this, I tried to factor in the time of this stupid cutscene into the time it takes to reset, but they kind of range in time, and it was kind of hard to do, so I gave up, and I didn't even account for that cutscene that you get every 4th run, where Hades just decides to waste our time. But that's actually kind of a major contributor. It adds at least 5 seconds on the AV. Boom. What's up, Eldron? How are you? What's the point of this type of run? Curious because the highest you got to is 16. Bragging rights only. There's nothing else to it. And just the idea of it. You know what I mean? And don't worry, I have no plans of actually getting a win here. 85 hours was a very optimistic estimate. Yes, you are. I 100% agree. We got a common special. All right. These enemies aren't so bad, at least, either.
Not now.
Oh boy. When Hammer and Boone were going for, we have to get Zeus's special. We really have to get Explosive Return to have a chance, but I might continue to run without it just to see how far we get. Oh, the speedy hands! Come on, not the speedy hands, man. They're the worst. With one dash here, it's just brutal. God, that was so slow. Ah! Crystal Beam, I see. What will I do if I somehow complete this challenge? I'll tell you what. If I somehow, by some miracle, completed this challenge in the span of just today, I will personally donate $1,000 to charity. But the thing is, I can guarantee that that will not happen. Not because I would throw it either, by the way. It would be worth it, but... it would be totally worth it. But the odds are not, just not there. Pray to hit the 50-50 of the special. Aren't there glitches? No. Hades doesn't really have glitches. Well, no, Hades has some minor glitches and did have glitches in early access. I have a whole video on it on YouTube here, actually. If you want to check them out. The only thing that's even remotely abusable is, like, there's a bug where you get more damage from Mirage Shot on Beowulf. But good luck getting Mirage Shot at 64 heat, you know what I'm saying? That's, like, the only thing I can think of. You can't, like, get out of bounds and skip over rooms or anything like that. Oh, good. We hit the special. That's something at least. We got a pause buffer here for the sake of the timer to spend as little time as possible, waste as little time as possible for things like those doors. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Ooh. You got me. Just taking that little bits of damage. Speedy Witches. It's a challenge. I don't have time to waste here, though. I can't really take it easy. Go, Crystal Beam, go! You got this, baby. Ugh, got to see the shop here at least. Bad news, also abusable, I guess. Screw it, you'd promised 10k, right? Come on, stand still, okay. It's a slightly off center, but it'll make do. 5 health. And a dream. Dionysus, come on. Show me the call. Show me the call. Oh, Drunken Dash. I think this is a point where you wouldn't want to spend a roll, though, here. Drunken Dash kind of does something, at least. So one thing I didn't discuss in the video, another thing I hadn't, there's many things I didn't get to touch upon in the video, but here's one other thing. Swaps. If the game could force you to swap your special boon for another god all of the sudden when you pick up a new boon, and there's nothing you're gonna, if you don't have a reroll, there's nothing you can do about it. If you don't have a reroll, there's nothing you can do about it.
House of Hades?
You're screwed. The run's over, right?
We're home.
How's it going, Skelly? Need some...
Rest in my pepperonis.
What could go wrong?
Doom, boom, boom, boom. How often does the game offer swaps? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have, if like Seagull were still here, maybe Retrash knows too. Maybe there's like some kind of mathematical equation behind it. But the danger of the swap is so high, not that the odds are super high, but just like the fact that it could just totally kill a run just like instantly, right? You might not buy boons from like the end shop right before Hades in case it happens, right? Just because it's too dangerous. Even if you have a roll, it's possible to still just roll into the same swap. Happens every time you don't want it to? Exactly. 90% of the time, it happens all the time, you know what I mean? Strong drink doesn't work with lasting consequences. Oh, wow, that hammer just absolutely cursed us today, I think. Send me back. How long to beat it if I remove the deadline? Probably several hundred hours still, I would say. I'd say still probably several hundred hours, thousands of attempts if I were to guess. That's 58 heat, and there are easier 58 heat setups than this. Than that, rather. Do 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 do.
A mortal's life is short and fraught with pain. Is that truly the life you yearn for, boy?
Yeah, swaps are like a little more likely if you have everything filled, but it can still just kind of happen. I forget how it determines whether or not to show a swap. I forget. If I had a new time limit, what weapon would I choose? I don't think it would change. Because I still only have one dash, so you need a shield. Without a dash, you're gonna need a shield to move, to get some more movement and stuff, you know what I mean? Positive outlook, no good either. Positive outlook is the one that just reduces damage when you're below 40%. It does something, I guess, but it's not a meaningful amount for the most part, I'd say. You don't get enough boons in a run like this, usually. You can't keep enough boons. Do I feel like I can actually do it? No.
Never been a finer shield.
Absolutely not. But we can experience it as outsiders.
How careless of me.
Achilles spear? You mean because you get movement from the special? I think you kind of need the block. Achilles spear at high heat
Come back for something right quick.
has a rough time because you're dependent on one hammer. I mean, we're dependent on one hammer here too. So, but compare like Achilles spear where you get flurry jab to Zeus aspect where you get explosive return. It's tough.
My choice is made.
It's gonna be tough. Has anyone done a seeded 64 heat run? Yes, it was in the description of my video. It was done by Baj. It's on Seagull's channel. Ho ho! It's our first epic special of the day. It took us 1 hour and 39 minutes to get the first epic special, which is supposed to be an actual requirement in order to do this run. But yeah, if you want to see the seeded run, which is wacky and crazy, search, I don't know, probably just search 64 heat and it'll come up pretty quickly. Oh, you meant After Party when you're asking about that Dio boon. That one doesn't work either with lasting consequences on. Okay, we skip chaos. Come on. I'm focused. No more reading chat. Everyone turn off chat. No one say anything. Don'tgethit.com. Even if I die to the time limit, so be it, I guess. You know what I mean? Okay, we like these enemies. We love these enemies. You can tell it's going to be a quick run when you see those. Oh my goodness. Oh. Key for a reroll. Okay. We still are going to need some luck, though. No doubt. there's still requirements between like a fountain room or boldy, probably things like that. No, 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 no. It's my fault. Come on, play better. Come on, let us see Meg at least, right? Let us see Meg. Ugh, took 40 damage in that room. I think you kind of have to do Artemis and then just pray you don't get hit, right?
More wretches.
Okay. Woo! It's not it. Yikes. Oh, he surprised me! The teleporters, the teleporters. The teleporters. It's rough, huh? It's rough. I can't say that was bad luck really in any way. I think that comes down to practice still. I think better players who have practiced more could have done better, you know what I mean? What can you do? Is there any way to get health back? I mean, there's some very small exceptions that usually have massive trade-offs. You got Curse Slash that reduces your max health. You got Guan Yu, also reduces your max health. You got Draining Cutter, which is just hard to use. You got technically Quick Recovery from Hermes will give you a health back, but not really.
Liven things up.
In a sense, right? You had to lose the health in order to gain it back. Yeah. I think there. Oh, so Skelly's Tooth will heal you. Skelly's Tooth will heal you. In fact, I think in the modded 64 Heat win by Angelic, they purposefully put on Skelly's Tooth for Asphodel, and then they purposely use it in the lava right before they leave in order to recover 100 health. Yeah, the only real way of like to heal, quote unquote, is just to take max health. Can you out heal tight deadline? In outside of 64 Heat? Yes, I have some videos. If you search like extreme deadline, I believe you'll be able to. You'll see a run where we start with 0 seconds on tight deadline, and we're taking 5 damage every second, and we don't necessarily out heal it, but we survive and beat the run. It's crazy, crazy stuff. It's cool. That's a really cool run. I highly recommend it. Epic Thunder Dash, you say? Stubborn Roots works. I mean, yes, it does work. It's 1 health every 0.8 seconds, I think. It's a minute amount. Tight Deadline is 5 damage every second. So essentially, Stubborn Roots reduces the Tight Deadline damage to 3.75 damage per second. And yeah, that's just, it's not gonna be enough. Talk to Skelly, he hasn't earned it.
Captain. My choice is made.
I said it.
Lord Uncle Zeus.
Rare special is doable. Okay, let's get a little bit of focus going on here at least. Let's see if we can at least see Meg. Stubborn Roots is not worth it. It is, in this context, it definitely is not, because it's a duo boon and there's just so many other things you'd rather have than just that tiny bit of healing, I think, there. Because you instead of trying to heal through tight deadline, you could just get damage from other boons that would allow you to beat the deadline instead of trying to out heal it, you know what I mean? Go this way. Woo! Okay. Nice room there. Didn't get hit also. Got a palm. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Delicious.
We're up to 50 damage on the special. Okay, good. Speedy hands. No, not the speed. This is a big room, which is often a bad thing, especially in like a speed run, but it might be a better thing in this instance where I'm kind of just scared of not having enough space to really get these holograms away from me and stuff. I tried to charge a bull rush, but they're faster than me for that. Oh boy. Okay, we survived. Took a little bit of damage. No, the teleporters, they were my doom last time. They also deal double D. They can't teleport too often, though. Okay. Slow, though, huh? Very slow. Okay, we live, we live. What? Not bad, not bad. We gotta skip that chaos, I think. Mini boss is Afro. We gotta knock that off first. Hold on. I think that should be okay. It is. Very good. Damn you, hand. Dude, can you do the move? Do the move, please, honey. There you go. That's the move. Bit rough.
You stabbed
You want my
An epic attack is kind of nice here. It's worth. This will do some work. This will do some work. There's nothing else we really want from Aphrodite anyway. That's probably the best thing that could have occurred. We have one roll. If we take the nectar, it's a 50-50 if it hits the special. There's a decent chance we can't even keep that attack moon, but it's nice in the meantime, you know what I mean? Can you pick Fate Authority over Persuasion? You can, yes. I think just for the sake of trying to get as far as possible, we risk the 50-50. It hit the attack though. What can you do? There's the shop. Have to take it.
must be something I can use.
Goodbye, Zeus. Fish are overrated. More speedy hands. Why? More speedy clone hands. Come on. Ah, sweet Jesus. No, I was charging a bull rush, I promise. Whoa, 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 pal. Okay, we're good.
Feel nothing.
I was focusing on killing the hands to start ourselves off there. Can't even dash across that gap, really. We live. The timer's getting rough. We don't really do money most of the time. Because of convenience fee, money is just, obols are just a lot less worthwhile. Versus pretty much every other reward here. Come on. I think, maybe we can see Meg at least, but... Oh, come on! How does it die while also hitting me? Please dash better. Nine health.
Not much time left.
I don't know what chamber we're in. We get the special. Oh, man. We can't even see Meg. Not enough time. We have one more chamber to do. It's too bad. What can you do? We'll try. We'll try. Oh, how we'll try. If you start losing health at tight deadline, you're not going to get it back, you know? This is where there's a baseline of luck required around what kind of chambers you get that is hard to really get into the math of a lot of times. Is that going to be it? No, there's more. Of course. Rip. Too bad, huh? Too bad. Yeah, we pretty much had to get Boldy just to see Meg, but we still wouldn't have had enough time to beat her.
Learned something back there.
We never got well, actually I would argue that Aphrodite's attack boon there kind of did something for us, but yeah. Oh yeah, there was a chance for Thanatos too. Thanatos could have brought us to Meg as well there. It's true, it's true.
For it.
We go again.
Lord Zeus.
It's gonna be different this time. The only way to get a Defiance is from Athena. You actually cannot get Death Defiances even from Athena at 64 heat. Once it gets turned off on the Pact, there is no way to get one. Skelly's Tooth is the closest thing. If you, so if you see Patty in Elysium with the Death Defiance turned off from routine inspection, then I think they won't even let you, there's no buff to take for it.
What's new, Skelly?
Welcome, Rowan. Thank you.
What's the worst that could happen?
Tight deadline should not be lethal. I think that's kind of probably okay. I think that's a balance that might have been okay. What do you all think? What if tight deadline brought you to 1 health but couldn't kill you? We'd still complain about it, but yeah. Can you replace the tooth with the Defiance from Athena? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's advanced. I don't know. That sounds kind of familiar. Like, maybe. I'm not sure. Do I think there's a unique voice line? No, I'm afraid not. Because people have done it with mods, and the game wouldn't know that you're using them.
Father.
Chaos Lego? Oh.
Never work for you, boy.
The Chaos Legendary.
Few have unconstrained authority
What do
to
you
traverse
think?
this
I don't think so. I don't think it works. I think it can't get offered, but I'm not 100%. I'm not 100%. Casey, welcome to the House of Haelian. Thank you so much. Aw, I saw Epic and I got happy.
Not yet.
Nah, tight deadline will straight up kill you. Straight up murder you, I'm afraid. Tooth the move over Acorn if you make it into Asphodel. Yes, because
Should check the
you might not even see Lerny when you think about it. You might need that tooth for other purposes, so it could save you sooner. You know what I mean?
What could go wrong?
Ba-da-dum-ba-bum.
Lord Uncle Zeus.
Dang, just a dash. What can you do? Welcome, Andre.
No.
You'd have to go to Chaos at least twice. Yeah. I feel like Chaos might not offer it, though. I don't know. It's a good question. We need to get the Zeus special to continue.
I forgot something.
Greetings.
We are now about to enter our 50th attempt in 2 hours.
Hey, pal.
What's life without a little pain? Why, thank you.
Damn. Come on. Come on.
Crushed.
Bum, bum, bottom. We can do it.
Thought I'd just pop back.
Chaos could offer it with the egg. It increases rarity, but I don't know if it's even possible to get it offered. I think that I feel like it might be excluded if you don't have
Wretches of the underworld, take heed.
the Death Defiance is unlocked in the mirror. Do. Sudden rush, pretty bad, huh? It's not a good one. Come on. Lost the tooth, then got out of Defiance from Athena, you would get an invisible Defiance. Oh. If that is true, I don't personally remember it. It sounds slightly familiar, maybe. What's up, Noah?
Next might be with Chaos.
Is it doable with another special? Maybe. This one probably has the least setup.
The pact is sealed.
Maybe. Possibly use tasks in this game to experiment what boons you need to have a chance of doing this. You don't actually need a task for it. You can route out like a seeded run where you can pick which boons. There's mods that just let you spawn boons and things like that too. So there's lots of ways to kind of experiment, with it and try different things out. And I'm sure the High Heat community has done plenty. But this is what they came up with, because it's mostly about lowering, increasing the odds of getting what you need in order to determine it. And I think it's safe to say that there isn't a better build that could do this more consistently necessarily.
Skelly.
This is the most consistent one. Sadly, huh? Sadly that this is the most consistent one, but that's what it is at the end of the day, I think. Explosive return. Oh. It's not even that this is like the best aspect or the highest DPS aspect or anything like that, but it's the most consistent. Down, down. Didn't I do the math? Yep. Nothing's gonna stop me.
I forgot something.
We're just having fun. We're celebrating 100,000 subby wubbies on the tubes. Mwah. Hugs and kisses for everybody. I'll kiss you right on the lips. Gilgamesh? Dear God, no. We got a common special. Well, it's something. We could definitely reach Meg with a common special at least.
Piss off.
Whoa. I actually not certain how that didn't hit me, but okay. Okay. Furthest I've gotten, I almost saw Lerny. Not today, but in my pre-recorded attempts. I spent probably... I think I kind of timed it. I was being a lot more reset heavy, but after about I'm gonna say 6 hours, I was able to almost see Lerny essentially. Hey Dink.
No way.
All right, here we go. Explosive return guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Welcome.
Gilgamesh with Athena's attack boon. Nothing helps Gilgamesh. Oh, it was right there. We're gonna try. And Divine Dash. It's not enough.
Not now.
Trust me. Trust me. You can try it. Go ahead, try it. I'm just gonna save you the pain that is Gilgamesh, though. Woo! Hey, Taco Cat. Ooh. Hey Nola, how are ya? Ooh, Boldy. Go Boldy, Boldy, Boldy. Am I very delayed? Yeah, YouTube has a bit of a stronger delay. I don't think I can adjust it midstream.
Sometimes it Need a little.
So I'm probably reading chat with a bit of a delay here.
Cheers, mate.
Only Merciful End could save Gilgamesh. Yeah, I mean, if you could somehow guarantee getting Merciful End and Athena's Dash, so you'd need Ares attack, a high rarity on it, multiple palms on it probably, at least 2 or 3. You need Athena's special, you have to. Then you need to get Merciful End, and then you need to get Athena's dash. So that's 5 things already, 5 very specific things, right? Whereas with Zeus aspect, it's gonna be a bad time until you get all 5 of them really. Zeus aspect, it's just like a couple things we're doing better. We'll see what we can do here. Okay, we got the Doomstone at least. Oh, I was too early. She's gonna, oh, she didn't miss. Okay, I shouldn't have done it so early though. Very nice mini boss, okay. Yeah, we just take something to sell here. It's okay. What can you do? I have 1 roll already, so I think we're gonna gamble the 50-50, because what can you do? Okay, this room shouldn't be too bad. Meg, here we come. Okay. Hit the special. No, not Dying Lament. That's the mid shop. I somehow have enough money here. How did I get enough money? We have 325. Poseidon, Hermes. I think I do Hermes. If we got an extra dash from Hermes, oh my god. That'd be mental. I have 1 roll. We probably throw it out here. So you can get the health from that, but I'd have to successfully execute the dash right after getting hit, basically. I think you roll it. I think you roll it. We just big ball it, basically. Pray for a miracle here, kind of.
What else we got?
Oh, classic Hades for personal computer. Oh, we got a fountain. Okay, okay, okay. Come on. No palms on the special. We're gonna gamble on it, I think. I think we're gonna gamble on it. I know there was max health there, but... Boon to sell? We already had Dying Lament to sell, so... I mean, we really wanted something of actual use at that point. This is gonna be a nightmare. $2:05 on the timer. Might be able to do it because we got Boldy and Fountain, right? Maybe. Oh, these guys. Why? Oh, come on, witch. Okay. Hit the special. Okay. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. That's chamber 11. We have 1 more chamber. Demeter. I guess we go that way. Okay. If we get a really nice enemy pattern, maybe we can see Meg or Thanatos. Okay, this is good. This is very good. We like seeing the armored pots. Come on, please, hit him. Armored pots are an extremely good sign. Come on, baby. In fact, this might be it. No, it's not it. Sad day. There's more. Still a good sign, but just because they're easier to beat. You don't get too many of them, really. Oh, it's feeling like we're getting a lot of them right now, huh? Oh my god, there's another. Oh, where'd you go? Come on, baby. Yikes. Ravenous Will is kind of something. We saw Meg, baby. I guess we'll take the free Demeter here. Come on. Give us some miracles here. Right. Okay. I don't think we're getting past Meg here, but we'll do our best.
I'm back.
Nope.
ladies.
One palm on the special, but it's only common. No hammer. No, did we get we got a hammer, but it was bad, right? Panicked kind of there.
Hurry it up.
Oh! Baby! That's our first asphodel. Oh. Oh. Woo! All right. My golly, Miss Molly.
Riches of Tartarus cannot be relied
That was the first Meg. Probably the last Meg. Give me... I think we take the tooth here. Just to do the best we can. We hit the timer at the last second. The last second.
Set.
No Chaos Gates. I guess we send back Quick Recovery and keep Dying Lament.
Feel cleaner already.
Dying Lament does something. That special damage is kind of interesting. How did we get the Asphodel with those boons? Really, just because we got Boldy and a Fountain Room. And a couple of okay enemy patterns, I think. What do you think about the Chaos Gate? We don't have any rolls. Retrash says save it. Yeah, I kind of agree.
Next floor.
I agree, but in terms of just, I just want to get to the furthest chamber possible from that aspect. I think taking the Chaos Gate there was the right move. You know what I should have just said? I should have just said, you know what? There's going to be a Chaos Gate here without me buying it. But I didn't say it, so we didn't get it. You know what I mean? JVH, what's up? Thank you so much. Welcome to the House of Haelian.
Am I interrupting something?
So the tooth will still heal us. We're not gonna be dealing enough damage here to really do this quickly enough unless we get more miracles, namely Eurydice, right? Like, look how slow this is, really. Come on, man, die. Wow, that almost got me. Ah, there goes the tooth already.
Not so fast.
I'm trying to kill. Trying to kill. Yikes. Yeah, we definitely do more max health here, so that's nice at least, I guess. There's a pretty high chance that Chaos would just straight up kill the run. These enemies are actually better than the others, because at least they don't run away, in a sense. At least they're coming toward us, so we can finish the room a little bit faster, you know what I mean? We could get Eurydice, we could get a Fountain Room, we could get Thanatos. There's things that can happen, but will they happen, right? Oh, Eurydice would be massive. No, man! I needed that health. Okay. Controls offer health. They wouldn't heal us. There's the shop. We don't have enough money to buy anything, sadly, but... What's up, Luke? Yeah, we got a bad hammer already, I believe. We got breaching rush, I think. More armor with our bull rush, basically. I'm looking for a gold pot, but I don't see one. So we can't get the mystery sack. Going into an Aphrodite boon here. Yeah. Oh, the barge is so slow. The witches would have been fine. Power couple would have been okay, but the barge is a nightmare. It's gonna take so long to get out of here. If I can. Oh, I already got hit. Oh my god. Well, we definitely hit the maximum amount of spawns here. $11 health. Oh, 1 health! Let me out of the barge at least. I demand it. We escaped the barge. The witches still would have been tough. I agree.
Olympus, I accept this message.
1 health.
No use.
No, you were to say.
I can do this.
I guess the power couple is probably the easiest one. These guys, I feel like these guys are potential run enders here. They run away. It's hard to like keep blocking them. They're just kind of all over the room every time, right? Okay. The fact that they run... Oh, I died to the lava. Come on. Come on. That was a pretty rough run, you know? We didn't get a good setup at all. I'm glad we got the Asphodel, at least. I'm glad we got the Asphodel. At least there's that, right? Yeah. I mean, it shows that you can do things like that, right? And you can get somewhere, but you can tell. We could tell that, like, that was not a capable build, right? And then you have to push and try again. You know what I mean? And then you just gotta push and try again. Can't waste time, right? Ba-dum, bum, ba-bum. Yeah, the hammer was useless. Come on, man.
Again.
Modded 64 heat run? Nah. I'm really just here to kind of experience what it would feel like to do unmodded 64 heat. I don't really have a plan to beat it at any point, you know what I mean? Nightbot's working. Apparently Nightbot's working. Almost kind of working, Andy. Sorry if you got auto modded by Nightbot.
You wish to meet your Uncle Zeus someday?
What was the tooth doing? Just trying to survive as long as possible, because it would res ya and heal ya when it gets used. Hey, Missile. Grass 100k, thank you so much.
Glad I'm on his good side.
The devs didn't playtest it? I'm sure they kind of did. It's... They took the stance that it's not meant to be beatable, and I agree with them. I don't think it doesn't need to be beatable. It's fine, like, it's not a big deal. It's not like, this is, the modular heat system is very different from, say, if you're playing, I don't know, you know, like Doom Eternal or something, and you turn on the highest difficulty there that is just a preset of different things, you know what I mean?
I'm home.
Thanks for stopping in. Greetings.
Hey, what do you know? It is working.
How's it going?
Do. Hey, buddy. It's all about, they tried to balance the game somewhere around 32 heat. Like, how reasonable is 32 heat? We got another common. How reasonable is it with the pact of punishments given? Do they have enough option for practically all play styles to be accommodated and still beat 32 heat. That's what they were thinking of. And I think they did a good job at that. I think they did a very good job. Oh. Come on, my man. Okay. Take the health, okay. Thank you, Rio. We're at, like, I think my first YouTube upload was about 4.5 years ago now. It was a really terrible Hades speedrun with no sound, no mic, because I barely knew how to get that functioning. Right? But that was the first thing. Diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo-doo. What's the most punishing after the no mirror? I mean, I guess it has to be approval process just because you can't make a build with it. With it on, really. And it's just that's what it gives you all the resets for the most part. Ah! Tried to be too greedy there. Alright, we take the hammy. Dash was from the first video was so janky. Yeah. It's interesting. They changed it pretty early on. You had 3 dashes back then, too. The game would start crashing if you played it for more than like an hour or two, too. Like, there was a very high chance of just the game crashing on you during the very early stages of early access. One little tidbit, actually, about the development of Hades is that they actually had to convert the entire game into, I think, native C. I think it was originally in C# like the rest of their previous games, and they had to convert the entire game essentially into another programming language in order to get it better optimized. It's crazy to think that in the middle of early access, providing us content updates, that they had to, and they did do it. It's crazy, really. That's so much work, and it's totally unrecognized in some ways. Damn, that sucks. That's a really bad one. We'll keep at it. We'll see how far we get.
Charon must be nearby.
Not sure if it's more difficult or just not fun anymore. That's the thing with approval process. So approval process... Uh-oh, is that gonna target the... No, it targeted the little thing! I hate the Doomstone. Approval process is kind of fun and interesting if you're at 0 to like 10 heat, right? Like it can force you to take things that you wouldn't do otherwise. But once you start adding on the other packs, it's kind of like, well, I need certain things to win, right? And if I don't get those things, yeah, that was bad. That's my fault. If you don't get those certain things, then it just becomes a nightmare. I think that was the reasoning why they wanted, because we did talk about it in early access, about approval process, how much we hated it as people that played like kind of rather high heat and speedruns and stuff. We did have a conversation about it, and the bottom line was that they felt that approval process was a fun pact of punishment for some players. Like it's goofy. I would describe it as goofy, you know what I mean? Darn.
The Thunder God's might.
Boop. This guy deals 40 per swing.
Damn it.
Would I do it all over again, getting into Hades streaming and YouTube content? 100%. 100% of the time. There's a lot of things I would have done, I guess you'd call it better, but yeah, oh yeah. 100%, are you kidding me?
What's the worst that could happen?
Do, 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 do. Charge shot? I don't even know if it's worth trying. What do you think?
Back to dust.
Let's see. AP1 is interesting. I don't know if I'd call it interesting. Because at the end of the day, it's a pact that it doesn't punish bad players or newer players or inexperienced players. It almost feels artificial, like an artificial difficulty thing. So one suggestion I had made in early access is to make approval process cost give zero heat, but as like a fun and goofy modifier that you could turn on instead. I don't know if it would even be on the pact of punishment, but basically have it be almost like a different game mode that doesn't actually provide heat. And special. Darn. Oh, I had a roll. That's my mistake. Wasn't paying attention. Let's throw it. Send me back. Did we get explosive return once? Oh yeah, we got it like 4 or 5 times, I think. What's up, Peary? How are you? Welcome, demo.
Hey, hey!
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. It's definitely plausible to get a decent distance with just the special, I think. It's just tough to manage the enemies like that. There's a lot of things that could have been done differently, right? But one thing that I think Hades, it doesn't really get discussed. The UI in Hades, the user interface, right? It is extremely sleek and streamlined. It is so well done. It's so well thought out. Every single thing had a thought and a process to it. Even like the options menu just has this, you know, it's very concise and to the point. It's not overwhelming. There's not like hidden scroll bars. It's a small thing in some ways, but it's also like a really big thing. It really gives the whole game a much more professional and just well-tuned feel, you know? And it's not something that we really think about when we play games very often, or at least we don't usually praise it. Because I think what happens when it comes to UI design, you only notice it if it's bad, for the most part. You're probably only going to notice it if it's bad. And you might not be able to put your finger on why you don't like a game, but that could be part of the reason, you know what I mean? Will I put as much time into Hades too? We'll just have to see. More than half the time I've spent playing the game of Hades was before I made a single dollar off of it. Aw, Epic Special was right there. Yeah, very consistent aesthetic and theme and everything. Why does the approval process show the blocked boon? It only makes you feel worse. A lot of people asked for them not to show it. But I think the fact that the game spits in your mouth a little bit by showing you them, I think it can fill some people with determination, and it allows, at least for me as like a content creator, to kind of, you know, there's these funny, goofy things where it's like, I can't believe it was right there and I didn't get it. You know what I mean? Common special. So we've just had, we've had one epic special all day out of 62 attempts so far.
Let's fight.
Right? I'm pretty sure that's it. But we haven't been very efficient with the resets. We definitely could have had way more resets. Like, we would reset this one normally to try to get more attempts in normally.
Hey, money.
Like that. These hands, I tell ya, sloppy. These hands, oh god, that was miserable. You go this way. This will be a fast room probably, but it might take some D.
Come on in.
You kind of like seeing these enemies, but it's easy to get kind of bonked from them also. Congrats, 100K. Thank you so much. Whoop. Come on. Okay, still no damage taken. Nectar is good. For Thunder Flourish. We got a fountain room. Okay. I need a little bit more money before the shop here. Uh-oh. Come on, I need $4. Yo, anyone got $4? Yo. Oh, come on. Nothing. Dio is one of the keys too, if you can get the call boon. Why not take gas for common special? I mean, I know we're not going to get a win today, so I'm mostly just seeing how far we can get. And Chaos has a very high chance of just ripping the run immediately. Am I interested in Armored Core 6 at all? I don't think so, yeah. I've never played any games in the series, so... Come on. Oh my god. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes.
I'm back.
Welcome to the house.
Is the information of where my name came from on the internet probably not readily available? Oh, I can tell this story. I can tell this story while we're back in reset hell.
What's going on?
I can tell this story. Okay. Rewind time. Over 20 years ago at this point.
Time to go get
Over 20 years ago. I played this little tiny online, it's not, I would call it an MMO, but it's more of just like an MO, a multiplayer online game, because it wasn't massive at all. Concurrent players might reach a peak of like 20 on a good day. Basically all at once. And it was like this, it was this Dragon Quest ripoff. It was on a website called beyond.com, BYOND. And anyway, I would play this game a lot, and there was a guild called the Haelians, because the guild leader's name was Bahale or something like that. I forget exactly. And they wouldn't let me in because they said I was a little shit, basically. I mean, I was like 13 or 14 years old. So, you know, like, I don't think I actually did anything too much, but I was probably annoying, you know? Anyway, so they wouldn't let me in. So fast forward, I don't know how long, months, days, weeks, something, not like an extreme amount of time, right? And I was making a character for Final Fantasy 11, the old Final Fantasy MMO before 14, and I couldn't think of a name, and I was like, you know what? Boom. Not let me into their guild? I'm taking the name, baby. It's mine now. What are you gonna do about it? Thus started the name Haelian forever and onward. Got a bad hammer. What can you do? That seems to be a theme for me. You know, you mean like where I'm annoying and then I get punished for it in some way? True. So I've wound up with it since. God, yeah, I probably started using this name. I don't know when I started playing Final Fantasy 11. Yeah, we'll just take a cast, I guess. Probably almost 20 years ago. Probably around that time now. I just haven't bothered. I mean, we all kind of wind up in the same place. You just use a name and like you just don't really think about it after that. You just stick with it. Ow. Splashcast actually does a little bit of work for us here, I'd say. Started a career out of pure spite. Artemis, okay.
I see you, Sneak.
Ah. Of course, I was never able to flaunt that I had stolen their name. No, it was such a small community that I don't know, who knows about that one guy who actually ran the guild or whatever, right? Maybe there's a chance they've played Hades and seen a video, but maybe they just thought it was a coincidence, right? So the dash is terrible here. There's an interesting factoid. I mean, we don't have explosive return, but it's one of only like 2 things in the game that cannot crit. It is hard-coded that it cannot crit. For some reason, explosive return is one of them. The other one is frozen touch from Demeter. For some strange reason. I mean, Hunter's Dash doesn't do anything. Throw it out.
Anything else?
The Artemis Call. I mean, a call boon is nice, but
Best guide my hand.
that one's not great. Did it ever crit? It did, and then I abused it in some early speedruns way back in the day. And they nerfed the damage and made it so it can't crit. And yeah, that was the end of that. You can blame me for a few things in the game. Explosive return can't crit. The fact that the spear special is not very good also. Because at one point it was great and I abused it a lot. I mean, I don't necessarily assume that they're going to nerf it. I think there was one more thing, but I can't remember what it is. Boldy.
Something I can use.
Okay, Boldy. What's up, Triple N? Clearly, they had to make Frozen Touch less OP, right? Doesn't crit because you made it look busted.
Cheers.
God, there was this wild glitch. It was only with explosive return. So it was kind of annoying. It was kind of almost a little unfair to explosive return. There was this glitch with it that could create insane amounts of damage. I'll talk about it in a sec. But when they fixed the glitch, they also nerfed explosive return at the same time for some reason. It's just like, maybe they should have just fixed the glitch and we would have stopped using it, you know what I mean? So the glitch, it had something to do... I don't know. It was only during early access. I don't really know what caused it, but if you took Dionysus' special and you had explosive return in a run, and then you chose to give up on the run from the menu, and you started a new run, you would retain the ability to apply hangover to enemies only through explosive return's explosion. I hope that made some amount of sense. Now you might say, well, that can't be that good. I mean, the hangover doesn't deal that much damage. Well, for some reason, the hangover damage also exponentially increased, and you could repeat the process over and over again to the point where you could deal thousands of damage in one Dionysus tick against enemies. Rest in peace, that run, huh? Too bad. It was a wild time. If you ever restarted the game, you'd have to do it all over again. So the way the speedrun worked during that brief moment, it was only for like half of a patch probably. But the way the speedrun worked was you would start a bunch of runs and get Dionysus' special and explosive return. Then you'd hit give up. And then you'd start a real run after doing that 4, 5, 6 times. And you would just be melting everything.
You call this shouting?
That is super specific. I did not find that. Oh, I wish I could remember who found it.
Now, try once again.
I don't know. I don't remember. What did I do with the spear special? Well, it wasn't really that the spear special, like, there was no glitch or anything like that. It just dealt crazy amounts of damage back in the day. Way back. Common special again.
My hair's sticking up.
It just dealt like crazy damage. So if you go back and watch, not my very first speed run, but it's just like the ones right after that on the YouTube channel here, you'll see some old speed runs where I just throw the spear special out and I recall it, and you would just deal crazy amounts. Vicious Skewer was a really strong hammer with a guaranteed crit on the return. Now it's only 50%. They nerfed it to high heaven. But they nerfed it so hard, it felt unfair. They nerfed the base damage on the spear when they did that. Step 1. They nerfed the hammers that you could get on the spear special. And I think that same patch they nerfed Artemis overall to some degree or another. I mean, it was necessary, but I think the spear special kind of never really recovered. And so the base spear special I think is one of the weakest things in the game. You can get it. There's a couple of hammers that work really well with it, you know, like explosive and exploding skewer, charge skewer. Those are pretty good.
Not now.
But the base just feels blech. I think the base just feels really bad. I'm dead. I was so certain I was dead in that moment right there. Stand still. Okay.
Thank you.
We're alive. Yeah, I feel like relative to the other... That was very close. I think relative to the other weapons, I feel like the spear special, outside of Guan Yu, it just starts off weaker than most of the other things. Wow, that was a nice room. Very quick. Very quick. Artemis's call again, baby.
The might of
Artemis seemed much weaker than now, or maybe you're remembering incorrectly.
Fortress.
I used to take a lot of Athena. I don't remember now. Athena used to have much higher percentage modifiers for some reason. They were higher than Aphrodite's. They rebalanced everything around that stuff later on. But Athena, I think, had the highest percent modifiers in the game. And so you would see a lot of Athena back then. Oh, darn. It was almost... I was about to Meg. We were close. Same Nightbot as on Twitch? No, I had to make separate everything.
Right. Again?
Isn't Artemis much better back then? Like the plus cast amount as a regular boon? Yeah, you could get fully loaded as just a boon from Artemis. It wasn't a legendary. It wasn't a legendary.
I'm asking for it.
Where did we see that? Oh, yeah, it's just one of my old speed runs. Also, Mirage Shot. Damn, I saw Explosive Return and got excited.
My shield.
Mirage Shot didn't exist for a while. And instead, they had a Mirage Shot equivalent called Dual Shot that Artemis could just give you as just like a tier 2 boon, not even a duo. We have Ferocious Guard. Oh, I guess we'll see what Zeus gives us.
Be useful.
Okay. Yeah, I think they started off with cast being a lot stronger than a lot of people were recognizing. And then the speedrun community started to recognize it finally, and that's when they were like, oh, we got to change this. Because I think cast builds back then just weren't really well received. Like, people didn't really try them. Rip.
Shocking.
I don't think they were really around. Did duos exist? Duos, I'm pretty sure always existed, but not all of them. Down. Welcome, Michael. Thank you. Welcome, Linus. Yeah, cast builds are just they're a big reason why Hades has so much variation and playability and everything.
Back, huh? Let's see what happens. Lord Uncle Zeus.
Congrats, 100K. Thank you so much. Do. Sandbox mode. They could have. I think that's a big ask, and I suspect that they're gonna do it for Hades too, because it's like a big thing that a lot of players ask for. They could just make it so it's like a super late unlock, right? Where you can spawn things like hammers and boons into Skelly's room, just as an example, right? So imagine you could just spawn things and test it out on Skelly, right?
What could go wrong?
They obviously like cast builds too. Yeah, I mean, they put in a ton of effort into some of those final aspects. Like Beowulf. Beowulf especially, they created a whole new set of cast boons just for Beowulf when Beowulf came around. Because they added all the flares in. So that was a lot of work for one aspect in the game. They also wound up sharing that with Hera, but they didn't do that right away. 3,000 bees, what's up? Thank you so much for the membership. Welcome to the House of Haelian. Do I think an endless mode in Hades 2 would be cool? I can't really say.
Time to go.
I'll take anything, in a sense. I'm sure whatever they put in it could be cool, right? Could be interesting. I think they'll probably do a good job.
Stability. Up there, nothing of the sort.
I think it could be good. I think endless modes are really hard to do, though. I think endless modes are really hard to do in games like this. Common special. I'm still not gonna do chaos. I mean, I guess you could say let's just roll the dice since it's just a common, but do 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 ba-dum. Ooh, that was very close. Come on, buddy. Come on, dude. My Moses. Ooh. Zeus again is very lucky if we get jolted or the call, of course. Yo, Dave. What's up? Thank you so much for those 20 months. What's up, D-Choi? Just got doxxed, baby. Just got doxxed. Do-do. You can't get over the fact how stupid 60... I said how I made a video about how stupid 6040 is. We're just having fun, man. Jolted, baby. Let's go. We can have fun doing this. It's not that I necessarily plan to beat the run, but it was really exciting just to reach Asphodel earlier today once, honestly. When the challenge is this high, you set your own standards, you know what I mean? If you just start out speedrunning a game, you don't compare yourself to the world record for the first time that you do it, you know what I'm saying?
You can stop me.
That's just gonna, you're just gonna be destined for failure if you're only happy with being the best on the first try.
Who's next?
Nice room we got going on here. I think this is a good enemy setup for us. Ow. Okay. One on the special. We do have that jolt, so maybe there's a chance we can get a little bit further. Anything else that might work with 64 heat? The only thing that's third Zeus boon. Wow. The only thing that other one that the community has agreed might be doable is actually Zag Shield. Interestingly. Okay, I gotta be careful how we do this. Okay, now we Meg. No, I thought it missed. Oh, come on. Special. Just kept flying out at random enemies there. And the call. That'll help for now, but it's probably what we have to sell at this rate. That's something. Definitely the key. Okay, 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 okay. What weapon to finish the first run? I mean, it's hard to go wrong with the shield. I like the bow, but it takes a bit more to get used to. I think a lot of people would agree. But you can really turtle things out and use the shield charge a lot. Honestly, you could probably just go with whatever weapon you like the most. Grab the Zag aspect for the cheap Titan blood. And go that way, and you'll get it. You'll get it. Rama requires too much setup. It's the one dash that kills something like Rama. Rama also kind of requires 2 useful hammers, whereas this aspect only needs 1 useful hammer. Why Zag Shield? Well, you still get the Bull Rush charge to help with movement and also just blocking. And I don't know, I'm not really certain how, but some people have gotten really far with Zag aspect and like charge shot hammer. Don't ask me. It's harder to clear the damage control. All right, here's the hammy. 100% guaranteed. Congrats, 100K. Thank you. Oh.
Got you back.
Do. Thanks for teaching you how to play the game. You're welcome. You're welcome. And explosive return incoming. God, if we got explosive return now, this would actually be like the juiciest run by a lot. Ugh. Not even on the menu. We don't have enough time either, it looks. Nice looking room here, at least. Diddle-doo-doo, diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-doo.
Time's running out.
No. Can we see Meg? Can we see Meg? It's not even the last chamber. No Boldy even. Can we see Meg? Can we see Meg? Oh, we got Than! Let's go, baby. Would you consider a 64 heat run legitimate if 1 pro, 15 noobs gather together with noobs fishing for Epic Zeus first room? Technically, it would be an unmodded 64. I mean, I think you have to at that point, right? Would you agree? If that's how it had to happen, I mean,
That's by all means.
that's one way to look at it, but I don't know if you're going to find enough people devoted enough to try to farm those kinds of things. And not to mention, like, how often is this actually coming up, right? It's a weird... It would definitely be... That's probably one of the ways that we could do it. So you get someone like Angelic, be like, hey, we're going to fish seeds on your computer using, like, a virtual machine or whatever. And we'll let you know when we hit one. You better be available all the time, though. We're already up in kills here, so Thanatos, go for it, honey. Francisco, welcome to the House of Haelian. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Than. Get some kills. I'll let you have it. Holy God. Ugh. How many have to die, Thanatos? How many have to die, honey? I 100% beat you, Thanatos. It was not even close, honey.
Little Hades.
Sweating over here now. You just take hydraulic might to sell here, potentially.
Save some for me next.
Not yet.
I should be getting back.
Fish 2 seeds at a time with the right software. Yeah, so if you like multi-box the game or whatever, I don't know. We have 4 boons in our possession with 0 seconds left on the timer, essentially. I guess I'm gonna do that.
Hello, Fury Sisters.
Boop, boop, boom, bump, boom, boom. I'm gonna beat 64 heat. Where in my title does it sound like I'm gonna beat it? I said attempts until my sanity is gone. And that was a long time ago. The deadline got us. What can you do? What can you do, right? Is there a special dialogue if no, I don't think there's dialogue. There's a special title if you make it so Than gets 0 kills. Boo, boo, doo, 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 doo. Send me back, buttercup, baby.
Who keeps fixing?
Send me back. I think my eyes are pretty worn out at this point, so I think we do one more. We do one more with the where we get a special. Let's just make it epic, huh? Let's make it epic. Sanity officially at 0, I guess. Right? What's the game where you have to worry about your sanity?
Hello, friend.
Is that like Phasmo? No, it's not Phasmo. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of something like really in particular. I'm thinking of does anyone remember this? The Yogg Saron fight in Ulduar in World of Warcraft? I think that's what I'm thinking of. Where you had to manage sanity. Nope.
That should do it.
Send me back. Bum, 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 bum. Request more runs of tape to tape. It's no big deal. I don't think so. Maybe.
Forgot something again.
Maybe when they update it. Oh, Don't Starve had sanity? You're right, it did. I totally forgot. Sorry, we're on a delay, so I'm probably super late in responding to this. I totally forgot about Don't Starve's sanity. Well, I was so hyper-focused on not
Just the edge I need.
starving to death in that game that I don't think I ever actually hit, like, the sanity for the most part. Oh, Darkest Dungeon, too? Oh, yeah, I guess there's actually plenty of things, huh? Bum. Dredge, I've heard great things about that game. Someday I'm gonna have to visit it.
I forgot something.
Do...
Forgotten.
Dum, bum. Tight Deadline would be more forgiving if we change some things about it. I don't know. So Tight Deadline is normally fine, right? And it requires you to have a bit more knowledge about the game, right?
Such things, do not ask me.
Where you need to
No
know
one born to this
about how the mid shops work. That you should always take them.
this job.
That you never skip an event room. Maybe you're gonna have to take a Chaos Gate. Increase your odds of getting fountain rooms by skipping things like trials and stuff like that, right? Explosive return! Okay. I don't know. So it's not, I don't think there's any one thing that's a problem here. It's just that choosing to turn every single thing on is the problem. And the game's just wasn't designed for this to be how it's played. And that's okay. I think an unbeatable challenge like this, it just makes it interesting. I don't think we should be mad, really, you know what I mean? Unless you've beaten every other heat up to 63 and you felt like you needed more challenge, I don't think there's any reason to be upset about it.
That's something.
Okay. That's the way I'm looking at it. So yeah, chat, no complaining unless you've beaten 63. All right, special, please, come on. Zeus. Oh.
Witches.
Let's go one more where we actually get a special boon, because that's slightly more important than explosive return. How was it in Super Giant's previous games? I wish I knew more about it. I think that they're also like incredibly difficult. What's the highest heat I've done? 57.
Hiya, friend.
Yeah, but I know Bastion and Transistor had it, right? Had a similar modular difficulty systems.
The pact is sealed.
So they're definitely no stranger to adding components like this to the game.
Lord Zeus.
I like the idea there's always a higher heat level to aspire to beat no matter how good you are. I think that's a good way of looking at it. There will always be a challenge here if you choose to take it. Most people would just choose to stop at some point though, right?
Again.
Bum, 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 bum.
Had to.
How viable is Athena's dash? I mean, if you get it, amazing. But with one dash, it's actually not as important as it kind of would be, you know?
I'm asking for it.
Big differences between my 57 heat and 64 heat. I have one, the big ones are, I have one dash, I have no stubborn defiance. Those are the biggest things. I can't remember my pack setup. It is somewhere here on the YouTube though. I can't remember my exact pack setup for 57 though. All right. This is it. We only got common and Forge. We got a palm in second room. That's pretty good at least.
Just in time. Delicious.
I'll have to look. I wonder what pack setup I did do there. Okay. The Hades heat system is great though. Yeah, I don't think it really needed to be changed. Maybe like before anything would change, I would really want to see like test it, have a beta, have multiple people try it out semi-publicly to determine like, is this really the right thing for the game? All right, help me out, Athena. And an attack moon is good. An attack moon is good. And that was a really quick room too. Okay. Heat system or dead cells boss cell system. Okay. So I got a cheeky answer and then I got my real answer, I think, here. So I'll take the modular difficulty that we have in Hades because that's been a great source of tips that I get to provide people in terms of the pact of punishment and what they should take. People have to come find my heat guide in order to beat 32 heat. So keep bringing that on here. But I think in reality, normally the pact of punishment, if you're not going to look up outside sources, it's going to require a lot of experimentation. And it kind of just depends what kind of player you are, I think, at that point. Whereas Dead Cells, it has a very strict, here's the highest difficulty, here's the medium difficulty, essentially, blah, 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 blah. And that's better for people who don't want to necessarily spend tens of hours experimenting with all these different things. You know what I mean? Ooh, Boldy. Very nice. That's better for certain types of players, and it's a lot simpler, obviously, too. Not in a negative way, but it's simpler. Sometimes players want something that's simpler. A lot of people will ask, even like, what's the first heat I should take? And it's kind of like, well, just try it. Try one. Let me know how it goes, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Just try it. There's no harm. You lose one run, it's no big deal. I'm gonna Meg there. Nice Meg. That's a beaut. We like it. I think it hit three-ish of them. Okay. Haven't been hit yet, I think, right? No! You can't sell Nourish Soul, and it does literally nothing. I don't think you roll, though. I don't think you roll, though. God, that is so bad. That is so bad. At least Rare Crop would have done something. Dead Cell's difficulty curve is too steep. I kind of feel that way, too, but I guess that's neither here nor there at the end of the day.
Desolation.
God. The bad luck. There's really not much we want from Demeter, but we just want something that we can at least sell, you know what I'm saying?
A gift.
Ooh, attack jerky? No, I don't think so.
More witches.
Recommendations for roguelikes with a short runtime. Ah, now that's a good question, and it's really hard to answer, because for some reason, most roguelikes have a rather lengthy runtime. Even the action ones. Like, deck builders are kind of notoriously long, I think, a lot of times. Like, you're looking at a couple hours for most of those. Ember Knights is okay. That game recently came out. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good. In terms of runtime, it's okay. You can get it down pretty low, but starting out, you're probably looking at about an hour, maybe even a little long. Maybe even a little more if you actually get toward the end of a run when you first start.
That's what you get.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Let's see. What else could we say? Undermine is like really long runs. Wizard of Legend? I can't remember how long those are. I'm not sure. Gungeon runs are pretty long, I think. Especially if you do any amount of extra floors. That just really depends how you want to look at it. Gunfire Reborn, pretty long runs. Great game, but they're not short. That's the thing. That's the one thing that, like, I feel like that's... I'm chasing the dragon with Hades, trying to find a game that, like... Can I get a game that's, like, 30, maybe 40 minutes per run? You know what I mean? But they're like, impossible to find.
Claiming these.
Did we reach the end? No, we did not reach it. Go, 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 go. Come on. We need something. Zoop. Woo! I guess we're selling the attack. We don't have time, though. Oh! Ferocious Guard is not great, but it does something. More Athena.
In the name of Hades.
32 seconds. There's not a whole lot else you could get here, I guess. Well, you could get the dash. I don't even know if that's that good, though. I'm just gonna take that.
It's no use.
31 seconds. 20 minutes till dawn. Yeah.
I didn't keep you waiting, ladies.
It's hard. It depends, like, what style of game, kind of, too.
Time's almost up.
Bag. Uh-oh.
This isn't over yet. Come closer, Sanity.
Oh, damn it.
Saw Meg, at least. We saw Meg. Vampire Survivors is 30 minutes. Yeah, I think those kind of wind up being in a different category for me.
Oh, blasted
Ring of
practical
Pain.
punishment.
Yeah, well, God, I love Ring of Pain. We didn't make it. What can I say, chatties? Yeah, something like 20 minutes till dawn, maybe. You know what I mean? Something like 20 minutes till dawn. That was a close fight, though. What can we do? Well, I think there goes my sanity right about then. Thank you all so much for coming. What the hell is that? Excellent Twitch chat showing up on the screen. So we saw Meg just twice, maybe 3 times. That might have been only the second time. We only beat her once. We got pretty close to learning in one of the runs, but that was pretty tough, unfortunately. Well, thank you all so much for coming. This was mostly just to celebrate the 100K, say thank you. I really appreciate anyone who showed up both today, who watches the YouTube videos, who likes, who comments. You know, I thank you so much. Y'all have enabled me to be able to do this for almost 3 years now, you know, since October of 2020. Couldn't do it without you. So thank you all so much. Thanks for sticking around for the insanity. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourselves. And I hope to see you on Monday or in the YouTube comments or wherever, okay? All right. Thank you all so much.